Hello again and welcome back. I am Jared Case, curator of film exhibitions at the Dryden Theatre and the George Eastman Museum. It's time we got you up to date on all of our current selections at the Dryden Theatre Virtual Cinema. This is a place on our website, eastman.org, where you can rent films to watch online from distributors that we have relationships with. These are generally newer releases and films that you may have seen at the Dryden Theatre had we not been closed since the beginning of January due to the construction of the new entrance and visitor center that we're hoping to open up later this year. Now, each one of these rentals that you purchase does help the Dryden Theatre because a portion of those proceeds come back to us to help support operating costs in the time that while we're closed. So until we open up, this is the best chance for you to see some of these new releases that you may have been missing otherwise. The first one that I'd like to highlight for you today is a 2016 film called Yourself and Yours from South Korean director Hong Sang-soo. Now, Hong Sang-soo seems to have developed his own sort of subgenre. I like to call it Soju and cigarettes, because it often deals with people sitting around, drinking, getting drunk, smoking, and having existential conversations, usually about relationships, whether they're romantic or familial. His films also often feature some sort of repetitive element, whether it has to do with the same characters doing the same thing with different outcomes, or it's the same character doing similar things with different characters. That repetitive nature tends to provide a point of comparison between the two situations, so you can make some sense out of that. It's similar in the Show Yourself and Yours, which is our current virtual cinema selection, where a young couple who is, I get the names right here, Youngsoo and Minjun, are having, well, it starts out with Youngsoo finding out from one of his friends that Minjun had been seen at a bar getting drunk and having an argument with another man. And Youngsoo is very upset by this, and he goes back to confront Minjun with it, and they end up taking a break. Concurrently with this, a woman shows up at a bar who looks like Minjun, but does not claim to be Minjun, and she talks with another man as they sit and drink and smoke and get together. So the question is then, is this actually Minjun, or is this someone else who looks like Minjun? She claims at one point to be a sister, but that's not brought up at any other point in the film. So we're left to wonder whether this is a woman who sort of changes her personality depending on the man that she's talking to, or whether this is another character entirely played by the same actress who comes in and disrupts things for the characters. So it's often been suggested it's an inversion of that obscure object of desire, where the same character was played by two different actresses, whereas this is one actress perhaps playing two different characters. But it's another fascinating exploration of identity and relationship from this South Korean master, Hong Sang-soo. So we do ask you, if this sounds interesting to you, go to eastman.org/Dryden-Theatre and look at all of our current selections at the Dryden Theatre Virtual Cinema, and then come on back for another recommendation. We'll see you then.